Hey friends. All right. This is our day 2 lesson of Moses. Remember that our Bible story comes from Exodus 2, verses 1 through 10, and then chapter 6, and verse 20. All right, so yesterday we talked about how I asked you the question, do you have a baby at your house? Some of you may have a baby brother or a baby sister or a baby cousin. And we talked about how babies are really loud. When they get upset, they start crying and fussing, and sometimes just saying shh doesn't make them be quiet, right? And so we talked about an Israelite family that really needed to keep their baby quiet because there was a bad man in Egypt named Pharaoh, and he was the king of Egypt. And he made a mean and evil rule that any Israeli baby boys needed to be taken away from their families forever. And so there was a certain Israeli family who had just had a special baby boy. They had an older daughter already, but the baby boy would be taken if they had found him. And that's where we left off. So we're going to pick up from there. All right. And so sometimes, remember how we talked about babies cry a lot. And so this family began to get worried because naturally babies cry. And so if they could not keep him quiet, the Egyptians were going to find him. So they knew if they did not do something, he would be found. So the baby's mom knew that she had to do something. She began to make a basket big enough for him to lie in. Then she took mud and sealed up the cracks and holes in the basket. When the mud was dry, she put a sticky black tar on the basket to keep water from getting in. When the mom finished the little basket, she put her sweet baby into it and took him down to the river. Oh my goodness, I wonder what she's going to do. She put her sweet baby in the basket and she hid him very carefully in the tall, strong plants that grew in the water. They would keep the basket from floating down the river. All right, so we're going to find out what happens tomorrow. This is crazy. They're trying to hide a baby from the bad king, and she put him in a basket by the river. Isn't that awesome? I'm curious to see what happens. Bye, guys.